In case you missed it, today is YNW Melly's bail hearing. Says Wells' bail hearing is today. His attorneys believe the release plan is strong enough to get the rapper out of jail by using two different approaches. His attorneys believe this is sufficient. Starting with YNW Melly's life in jail, Melly's mother said in an interview that they have proof he is not being treated humanely in jail. This is unlawful, as jails are required to protect their inmates.
You saw Melly's statement, just saying how he's been hurt, how he's scared for his life. As a mother, how did that make you feel?
It's heartbreaking. It made me feel completely helpless. Broward Sheriff's Office definitely needs to be investigated. I mean, they are making up their own rules. We've tried to go to court about this situation. The judge really doesn't have any jurisdiction when it comes to the jail, because we actually had a hearing about the mistreatment of him, and the jail they make their own rules. And I don't think that's fair, because I know that they need to answer to someone too.
They would then present evidence from the original trial showing that the federal claim about Melly committing the crime inside the Jeep is false, as GPS data from his cell phone provider proves YNW Melly was seen running down a street and hiding in a bush.
The part he's saying that someone just shut the car up and was trying to shoot him. So I asked him if he was okay, where he was, and he's like, there's a car coming behind him, and I'm hiding. He was like, there's some, I think they're still out here or something. So I'm like, are you okay? He's like, I'm okay. I said, well, where are Zach and Juby? And he said, I don't know if they're in the car. I think they're...
Then, to support the claim of it being a drive-by, Melly's lawyers will again use evidence from the original trial, where it was confirmed that no firearm was ever found. This supports the idea that the shooter drove off with the weapon used in the crime.
So the first thing is I didn't have a firearm, so I can't know which I'm going to use in order to replicate any of my tests. So I can't make tests for this determination because I don't know what to use.
Okay.
However, the prosecutors will defend their case and explain why he should remain in jail. They are expected to start with evidence from Melly's cell phone, showing text messages sent hours after the crime saying, I did that. You decide which side has the stronger evidence.
Gambino asked him if he was okay, and his response was, I did that, and placed a smiley face emoji.
And the next message from 10/26/2018 at 16:02 from Eastern Standard Time. The YNW Melly account says what?
After that, that's the
Also found on Melly's phone was a saved video from someone's Facebook Live, showing Melly and Bortland dancing in a parking lot just 6 hours after the crime was committed.
Melly still turned regardless of what happened this early morning. He's still out here being very positive. Turned still. Hey! But no, still turned. Regardless of what happened, you already know.
Showing no sign of sadness over the loss of their two best friends. A new piece of evidence was later revealed by a rogue O-Block member, claiming Melly's motive for the crime was his unwillingness to share finances with the other YNW members.
Did Vaughn really tell you that Melly told him that he was two friends?
He ain't come out and say, like, we got into an argument. And so, if when people can say something without saying it. And so he told me, like, once I posted what I posted, Vaughn was mad at me, bro. Why you put that, bro? Go out the bam. I'm like, you sitting up here, like, you know the love we got. You do this for us, but you gonna trust that his two friends? And he said, you was trying to extort him. And so I'm like, if they was trying to extort him, then why are you still around them?
This was meant to be a secret Melly shared with King Vaughn. Unfortunately, Vaughn told O-Block members before he passed, revealing that YNW is a registered business LLC. YNW Melly and Bortland performed concerts, sold merch, and did promotions for money. Sack Chaser and Juvie wanted to share but didn't contribute any work. The most alarming part is that prosecutors don't really care if YNW Melly gets bond before trial. That's because what they did with Melly's best friend, W.W. Bortland, and his ex-girlfriend, Mariah Hamilton, could destroy his life. They filed paperwork to try Melly and Bortland together in the next trial, all for one specific reason.
Here and try them together. It is for the benefit of the state to try them together, just more efficient. You don't have to do things again and again. Do it all at once, and also get a better chance of having them incriminate each other during the trial. It benefits the defense to sever it. That way they can point the finger at each other and get away with it. So this is what's going on. But I don't think it should be automatically severed because the state is seeking a penalty for Melly, because it's only the penalty phase of the trial that would be different, not the guilt phase. The guilt phase is the same. They're both capital crimes. We're seeking the penalty on one, not the other, but that goes into the second part of the trial, the penalty phase, only if Melly is found guilty.
It's common sense that if W.W. Bortland knows he didn't commit this serious crime, he won't be able to sit through it and accept a life sentence. This makes it likely he'll point the finger at Melly when pressure builds. But what most don't know is that W.W. Melly's lawyer already tried to shift the blame onto Bortland during the original trial.
His lives. Cortland Henry shows up at Memorial Hospital, Miramar. You don't see him sitting there, but where you will see him sitting is in the driver's seat of the car, two bodies, car riddled with bullets. When he shows up with a change of clothing, change of shirt, powder residue on his hands, evidencing that he had discharged a firearm. And he lies. He lies about where the incident occurred. He lies about how it occurred. And he lies about not having the phone. I think it was Miss Bradley herself who said, everybody has a phone in the pocket, not Cortland Henry.
That means it was W.W. Melly's own lawyer who revealed that Bortland had been lying to the feds all along, had powder residue on his hands, and was with Juvie and Sack Chaser when they died. Melly's legal team even brought in a forensic scientist to further explain the presence of that residue on Bortland.
So the right hand of Cortland Henry contained 0 particles characteristic of pot residue and two component particles, and the left hand contained 1 particle characteristic of pot residue and 1 2-component particle.
And can you explain to us what that means?
Basically, overall, there was pot residue present on the hands.
Rumor has it that Bortland and Melly haven't spoken since the incident. Bortland was not pleased with the situation at all. This is why, when Melly's mistrial was granted, a report revealed that Bortland tweeted a mysterious message on the same day saying, "Mind games don't work on people like me," followed by a handshake emoji as if accepting some sort of deal. Likely advised to stay quiet until Melly is fully sentenced by his lawyer, Bortland will eventually speak out. The prosecutors will also have Melly's ex-girlfriend assisting them. She was recently arrested for skipping Melly's first trial by leaving the United States.
Mariah Hamilton is spending her first day at the Broward County Jail. She has no arrest record until now. U.S. Border Patrol agents arrested her at Miami International Airport Monday after she arrived on an international flight. Court records show Hamilton was ordered to testify in Demons' first trial in 2023.
When she finally returned and was quickly arrested at the airport, she was soon released from jail. Shortly after, she posted, "Into my village. Thank you to my village. I love you all so much. God's plan, not mine." The judge had struck a deal with Mariah, telling her, "If you agree to testify against Melly, you're free to go." She agreed and signed the deal so quickly that she was released within 10 minutes. This is bad news for YNWMelly, as disturbing evidence was found in Mariah's iCloud account, showing Melly had forced her not to testify in the original trial. This constitutes witness tampering, which carries a life sentence in prison, regardless of whether Melly was involved in the deaths of Sack Chaser and Juvie.
State filing 6 new charges against Demons and 2 others who were allegedly involved. The charges include tampering with a witness, directing the activities of a criminal, solicitation or conspiracy to commit tampering, and unlawful use of a two-way communication device. Now, a couple of those charges actually carry a life in prison sentence if there's a conviction.
There's a real possibility that Melly could still win his case, considering he got a mistrial in the first one. If his lawyers find a way to beat the case, Melly could be found innocent. However, if he's found guilty of witness tampering, he will still face life in prison, as the witness tampering case would be separate from the original one. The craziest part is how the feds uncovered the witness tampering evidence. Their investigation into Mariah began after people in Melly's hometown started talking on Facebook about her involvement in the crime. It even went as far as YNWMelly, who conducted his own investigation, speaking with people around town. He learned what code words Melly used to pressure Mariah into not testifying.
Jamell Demons, YNW Melly, and Portland Henry, who is known as YNW Portland, are now charged with witness tampering. There was this kind of crazy way that Melly was communicating. He wasn't allowed to use the phone. He was passing notes to people, and then this person's calling this person, and then that person.
Like me, they're going through extreme measures, try to cover up or convince people not to testify, like Mariah mom. They was using code words like Rihanna, and they said Rocky's baby mom.
Due to his involvement in witness tampering through jail phones, Melly has not been allowed to use a phone for several months. The situation escalated so much that his mother, Jamie King, did an interview where she exposed the county jail for denying Melly access to a phone.
My son has not been convicted of anything, and even other inmates that have been convicted or anything, they have the right to use a telephone. They have a right to just to be allowed to write letters to their loved ones, to receive their mail. They hold his mail, they don't give it to him.
If the evidence is true that YNWMelly was using the jail phones to commit witness tampering, that would explain why he hasn't been allowed to use a phone. Given that we're talking about law enforcement, they must have solid evidence to support this, as keeping him off the phones without proof could lead to a lawsuit. As for whether this is enough to have Melly released or if he's staying in jail, it really depends on how the evidence is presented in court. It's a tough call, but it seems like the legal battles are far from over. What do you think? Will Melly be released, or is he staying behind bars?